And next up at UFC Fight Night, Vallejos taking on Emmett. We've got Oumar Sy taking on Ion Cutelaba. Carlos, who are you going with this one?
I'm going to go with C in this one. For a guy that height, that size, um, the way that he has his one loss wasn't really that. He gave too much respect to his opponent in that, and I hope he doesn't do that. Cotalaba's trying to get a bunch of the ground, and I think the only thing he's got is besides the overhand right is just swing wild, and Cutelaba is down to do that. And I think he can nullify Cutelaba's striking with his reach and that height and just the athleticism to keep jabbing and moving, just stay long and move, which is going to force Cutelaba to have to try to get this to the ground. So he's going to try to dart in for a takedown or get you up against the cage, smother you, and try to get you down. And I think C's got enough wrestling to nullify that. I think he can keep him. I think he can stay off the mat. So I'm going to say that C gets this done. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a great fight. I think it might be just about as good as when he fought, what was that guy's name again that I'm trying to remember? That's right, Menefield. And that was kind of a stinker. So I think that it's going to kind of be like that, but I think C gets the best in this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cutelaba. I like the antics. I like the Hulk face paint, but give me C here. I think Carlos hit the nail on the head when he talked about the height, the reach, and obviously the grappling in the back pocket of Oumar Sy. Cutelaba's known for his sambo background, and I think he doesn't utilize that enough, especially in the cage. And I think realistically here that C's height and reach advantage is going to give him a problem in the striking. He's going to struggle to get on the inside. C's going to poke and prod at him from range with his long-range weapons. And I think that Cutelaba's going to look to try to get on the inside and kind of get to the clinch, but I think C has enough grappling, especially in the wrestling department, to he can get his own takedowns. And I think once he gets on top, he does a good job of being able to control his opponents. That 6'4" frame, 83-inch reach. I think it's definitely going to be served on the ground. He does a good job of being able to take the back and find the rear naked choke. And I think that Cutelaba here, he's just way past his prime, even at 32, in my opinion. I think C is inconsistent, and I think he's still got a lot to learn, but I don't necessarily trust Cutelaba. Sometimes he likes to get into wild brawls and kind of put on a show for the fans. In the next fight, he wants to use his grappling and get back in the win column and control you on the ground. I think he slows down as fights go long, especially into the third round, whereas I think C can pace himself. And I think here realistically in the striking, I think that C is going to be able to carry his power late into the third. I think that he trusts himself a little bit more on the feet, and I think if it comes to the grappling, I think that C knows that he can dominate Cutelaba, especially if he gets on top. So give me Oumar Sy to get this one done with the grappling. And I think that they will play it out on the feet at some points, but I think that Cutelaba here is just going to cause collisions and ultimately try to get on the inside and force the clinch. But I think C's going to be able to have enough to keep this one where he wants it. So give me Oumar Sy to get this one done.